Welcome in, everyone, to another BDPA Tech and Career Talk. I am our National Tech and Career Talk leader, Devin Jenkins. Serve as a IT business partner for U.S. and Canada enterprise operations for GE Healthcare. I'm also the founder and CEO of Share the Vibes LLC, based here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So glad to have you with us here today for another exciting and engaging Tech and Career Talk. We're in Q4 now, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, we're nearing the end of the year. So just a few more of these left, but we have them coming. So make sure you don't miss them. We're here every second and fourth Friday. So before we jump into today's conversation, I just want to give a little bit of context on BDPA, the organization, as well as these tech and career talks, in case you're not familiar with the organization or this platform. And to those watching on YouTube, thank you for watching today as well. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment below, click that bell so you know when we're posting, and share this with someone who needs to hear this conversation, because you know someone who needs to hear it. So share it. Don't be stingy. Share the love. Share the love. So BDPA, Black Data Processing Associates organization, was founded in 1975 as a way to continue to build the African American talent pipeline within the technology industry. Even today, we still have a focus on developing computer programming skills, professional development skills, and all those things that are needed to build careers among our middle and high school students. So emphasis on starting with the youth, giving them that foundation. But BPA offers these same opportunities for collegiate students and professionals, continue to expand our network, develop our skills, and continue to advance careers from the classroom to the boardroom. These Tech and Career Talks take place second and fourth Friday of each month. We do have a few exceptions, August being our conference month. And as we get into the holidays later in the year, we drop that down to one Friday each month. But second and fourth Friday, for the most part at 12 p.m. Eastern, we are here bringing a range of speakers and topics, giving you things that you can find value in. We've had conversations on brain-machine interaction. We've talked AI and cybersecurity. We've talked emotional intelligence and how to work with jerks. So we give you quite the range of conversations and topics to take some value from and apply in your own careers, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a college student looking to get into tech, you're a senior executive, or you're retired on the beach. Well, no matter where you're at in life, we give you something that you can get value in. So thank you for being here. Glad to have you. Super excited for today's conversation. We have some of our friends from our Indianapolis chapter coming to facilitate today's conversation. So we have Ms. Rupal Thanawala, who is one of our FI2L judges at the conference this year, no stranger to BDPA. And we had Jennifer Rogers as well, an associate tech director. So I'll let them introduce themselves in their own way. I don't want to steal any of their thunder. I'll take anything away from today's conversation, but super excited as we dig into media, technology, and entrepreneurship, and how these three worlds interconnect and intersect. And I'm looking forward to today's conversation. I'm excited for this one. So this is going to be a good one. I'm going to get it out of the way and turn it over to our moderator for today, Ms. Jennifer Rogers.
Thank you so much, Devin. I'm so excited to be here. Rupal has been a good friend and mentor for 20 plus years, and I was so excited to be asked to do this interview today. So again, just me, I work for Tech at Lilly. I'm an associate director for premium services, been with the company 23 years, love working in tech, have a passion for people as well as technology. So I'm excited to be here today. Rupal, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Jennifer and Devin, for inviting me. BDPA is one of my favorite philanthropy and organization that I've been serving for more than 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been part of BDPA and a lifetime member. I'm also CEO of Trident Systems. It is a global IT consulting firm.
Mm-hmm.
And in my free time, I am tech editor for Indianapolis Recorder.
Mm-hmm.
We are the fourth largest Black newspaper in United States. And we are celebrating our 130th year.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
I think I'm super proud of my friends at Indianapolis Recorder.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a safe place to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But in a time and age we are, to be able to run an organization for 130 years
Mm-hmm.
and serving the community is the greatest accomplishment
Absolutely.
of my organization. So this is the perfect place to talk about all the outstanding organizations that I'm associated with.
Awesome. Awesome. So excited about what we're going to do here today. So, just to jump in and break the ice a little bit, if you could have one thing for the rest of your life, would you choose radio, podcast, TV, or social media?
So I think I will pick social media
Hmm.
because I'm also a contributor to the local TV station called Wish TV. In fact, the fun fact about me, I was actually recently my father-in-law was going through my stack of stuff when I just got married, and I dropped it at home, and he found my very first paycheck, which was literally not a 50 cents. Okay, I think I'm that old,
Oh,
but
wow.
it was my first paycheck as a TV personality. But
Wow.
that time I was only 13 years old. But
Wow.
in that day and age, there was no social media.
Mhm.
So the reason I like social media is because it's not a monologue. Whether I'm in a radio or in a TV, rather radio, I do sometimes interact with my listeners, but it's still not as interactive as social media.
Mhm.
And the reason is that my all the platforms I have, whether it's BDPA, Indianapolis Recorder, Wish
Mhm.
TV. I can bring all of them on just one platform, and I
Mhm.
get to listen to my followers also. And it's very important to
Mhm.
listen to what people want to talk to you
Mhm.
about, what are the burning issues, what they enjoy. So I think I like social media the most. Not to
Mhm.
tell people that I burn coffee. I don't do that type of stuff. Okay. I love those people who want to do that. But
Yeah.
I think having the two-way conversation with
Yeah.
your followers is very critical.
Nice. So walk us through your journey in media and tech, and how you've experienced the evolution of both. So I know we worked together, some years ago, and so we've been in the trenches
Mhm.
together. So just talk to me about your journey and the evolution that you've experienced.
Yeah, so just to put it in a very short version of who I am and where I am right now, I'm a biomedical engineer, and again, I realized there are not enough opportunities of biomedical engineers, so I took a detour. By then, my journey is full of detours. Okay, there's nothing consistent.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of my journey, which I enjoy. I'm a very adventurous person, so I realized that SAP is something everybody was talking about, and I said, okay, let me learn SAP. So I learned SAP in 1998,
Mhm.
and my very first job was actually with Jennifer Rogers. We worked together on one of the SAP implementation. But then a few years later, um, I realized that, working for someone is not fun. So I became an entrepreneur. And as I became an entrepreneur, I met a few other entrepreneurs. And one of the entrepreneurs was Indianapolis Recorder's CEO.
Mhm.
And I'm very much involved with my community. And he says, I'm running this black newspaper. And by the way, I was a subscriber of that newspaper. And we discussed that there's so many diverse topics covered in that newspaper.
Mhm.
Um, but my engagement with BDPA, I said, I want to bring all the great stuff that BDPA is doing,
Mhm.
Indianapolis readers of our newspaper. And he says, that sounds like a great idea. Why don't you start as a contributor? So I started as a contributor. By the way, I'm telling you, it's not the toughest job, okay? It's the easiest job, and anybody who's thinking about it, they can do it.
Nice.
So I started writing, and then I also started writing in Indianapolis Business Journal, which is a business weekly newspaper of Indianapolis. And trust me, they actually liked my articles, which is so surprising because English is not my first language.
Mhm.
I learned English at the age of 18.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was very apprehensive of jumping into this new career.
Mhm.
But then I learned that there's so many great things happening in our community, which has been not told to a subset of our community. And that is our Indianapolis Recorder audience.
Mhm.
Because I, being an Asian woman from India, I learned very hard way that tech could be a game changer.
Mhm.
I come from a very I come from a very poor family.
Mhm.
I could not pay my fees also. I have a very different journey than most of the people think, that, oh, everything is great in India. No. I grew up in a 350 square feet apartment with 7 people.
Wow.
So, but I knew that tech was a game changer in my career, in my life, and tech has brought me where I am today.
Mhm.
And I realized that great stuff that BDPA is doing and other organizations are doing is somehow not shared amongst our readers of Indianapolis Recorder.
Mm.
So that was my drive. It was more mission driven
Mhm.
to be in media than really I thought I can even be a media person to begin with. But fast forward, I got a very good response. I started talking a lot at Wish TV.
Mhm.
By the way, by now you all know I love talking. So that was the easiest thing for me to do. I still do it once or twice a month with Wish TV.
Mhm.
But then slowly I realized, and I think that is an evolution, since you asked me that question,
Mhm.
I realized that me talking or me writing every week was not one of the best way to serve the community. So
Mm.
then I started recruiting my fellow tech friends
Mhm.
to start contributing. And then I said, okay, I don't need to be writing because trust me, I'm not a creative writer. I'm an engineer. Come on. We are the most boring people to begin with. But then I think where I got the most success was leveraging my network, my friends,
Yes.
pulling those people and saying, like, I pulled Jennifer 3 weeks back. I said, Jennifer, you're coming with me. That's what I enjoy.
Yes.
That's my strength. So I said, friends, you all can contribute because I only can write about certain topics.
Mhm.
So then I started pulling people all the way from people who had experience in K to 12 education
Mhm.
to higher ed. And we can start naming each and every topic that is important in tech today, starting from, say, cloud computing to cybersecurity, AI, and everything. And I said, guys, you are the experts. I'm not an expert.
Mhm.
And then that is where they said, okay, you should be an editor because you are sourcing the stories. So I still review the stories and I'm still basically bringing forces together. So tech editor job is much easier than actually writing. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you talked about Trident System. Tell us a little bit about Trident Systems and how media has played in your experience as a business owner. So you're looking at it from a different side as a business owner. What part has it played in that for you?
Absolutely. So Trident System is a global IT consulting firm. We specialize in SAP only so far,
Mhm.
but we have developed our own products within SAP space,
Mm,
which are AI driven.
nice.
So that has been my gig, I would say, for more than now 25, 30 years. We have over 50 people in 7 to 10 countries because the products that we develop is called e-invoicing, which is one of the requirements in 40 plus countries. It is
Mhm.
non-US requirement, so people don't know much about it in US. So why most of the clients are global manufacturing firms or
Mhm.
global companies, I would say.
Mhm.
That is where I met Jennifer also.
Mhm.
So it is one of the requirements where when any organization or corporation generates an invoice, it has to be immediately sent to the government for validation. And then that becomes their official invoice. So we have developed some products and we are people who are experts in that space. So that's what we do. Now, connecting the dots with the media, uh, in many ways, there is really not much connection. The reason is because I believe in keeping my community service and my personal business in two
Hmm.
different swim lanes.
Hmm.
And I most of the time talk outside in I do a lot of public speaking engagement also,
Mhm.
and even BDPA and all. I do. I try to keep it very clean. And I'll
Mm.
tell you why. Because I have been serving the community in different capacity. I'm on a board of Indiana Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
I'm on Asian American Alliance president. I'm on a board of IU School of Informatics. But then I also found a lot of people coming there with purpose. And
Mm.
that the purpose was their business.
Mhm.
And my purpose is my community.
Yeah. Nice.
So I have made sure that I rarely talk about my business in media.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own ways of doing my business. God is good, although I'm a very small business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And I have kept the two swim lanes very separate because at times it can muddy the water.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting. And it's also, notable to do that because I agree. I think in some spaces, you folks take positions and then think that they're going to run their business and push their business while, serving on the board of a community organization. So that's very notable, and it makes a lot of sense to keep it separate. So that's good information to take in. So as we look at journalism and in the news, and we talk about the growing economy and in creative ways of finding ways to generate revenue, what are some of the ways that media can be used to be as an outlet for creativity?
So I would just say that, when I'm talking media, I really want to differentiate what is the brand of media versus
Okay.
how it can be really helpful to our community. So yes, every media outlet has some political inclination.
Mm-hmm.
They are inclined towards one party or the other, or they have
Sure.
their own viewpoints, and that is how the media has been viewed, which
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. I am a non-partisan person,
Mm-hmm.
and I try not to get into that direction at all. The way
Absolutely.
I have used my platform and media, and I encourage everybody because everybody in this uh, co- event is related to tech, and
Mm-hmm.
individuals from various backgrounds and diverse backgrounds, I would say, look at that as an opportunity also to either talk about your business, talk about your skills, talk about the mission that you have, talk
Mm-hmm.
about the innovative ideas that you are bringing.
Right.
So I've gone to the path of media as a non-political conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we generate wealth for our community? How can we grow businesses? How do we bring more investors? So I was part of very recently at BDPA also, but today morning only I got an invite. So there's an organization, for example, called MEC 48. MEC 48 is a PBS 48-hour innovation competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I was invited to be their judge.
Hmm.
So it is, you can still look it up, MEC 48 competition. And by the way, one of my a friend, I said, hey, I've been a judge in past. I want you and your friends or family to build a team and come up with some innovative idea.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Our past Indianapolis chapter president, Shondria Seaton,
Mm-hmm.
and her family participated in one of the years.
I love it.
I was not the judge of the year because I
Uh-huh.
was in conflict of interest and all. So I would
Right.
have not. But
Right.
even she was, I would have still been a very fair person. So
Mm-hmm.
I had Shondria Seaton and her family
Mm-hmm.
compete for that competition.
Wow.
And I was the only person of color when I was there. I'm separating two events now. I was
Mm-hmm.
the only person on a national TV as a judge.
Wow.
And I actually traveled to Kansas City also for that. Sorry, Wichita. So I guess that is what I mean. So media can also be a platform to bring innovative ideas,
Mm-hmm.
talk about new businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and where I am using this is more about educating people about the opportunities that has been not talked about to the community. I do another thing is highlighting and spotlighting. By the way, anyone on this audience wants that opportunity, please let me know.
Mm-hmm.
At Indianapolis Recorder, we have another magazine called Minority Business Journal. And
Mm.
in that, we spotlight outstanding people of color leaders because we
Nice.
don't talk about them. We don't highlight them enough.
Right. Right.
And they're doing, they're the movers and shakers,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't talk about them. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
mainstream media don't want to highlight them.
Mm-hmm.
So now that is also a way to uplift the community and creating opportunities for others. I had recently somebody come back and told me that, hey, I read one of that articles and I reached out to him for a job, and that person actually offered me a opportunity to apply to a position. The person obviously went through the entire process, but then that person got the job. So it is not just, but you need those door openers.
Right.
And secondly, we as a community are not speaking enough about ourselves and how great this community is. So that is what I mean by creating opportunities, whether it's for economic development, or it is upliftment, or for an educational opportunity, job opportunity. There's so many ways media can be used other than just political news.
Absolutely. Wow. So the way we consume information is vastly different than the way we used to do it 20 or 30 years ago. If it's longer than 2 minutes, folks just are disinterested, or 30 seconds anymore. Let's talk about the intersection between media and technology. Where do you see the future of media going based on the advancements in tech? Because
so I will tell you, tech has been one of the biggest enabler to share the information globally that otherwise, was not the case.
Right.
Like, of course, I'm going to date myself. But when we were growing up, Jennifer, if you missed an episode of one favorite,
right,
or even news for that matter, you missed it. You missed it. It's gone.
Yep.
But at the same time, even if not me, because I am a media person, but everyone is contributing in the media in so many ways. That means we look at it very broadly, because social media is part of the media. So, for example, you are posting a great article even on LinkedIn. So you are a contributor to the media. Where we see is, very soon, I guess the TV and radio are not going to exist in 10 to 20 years. There will be new media channels created that, of course, I cannot imagine what it would be, but it would be there. Another thing is, as very well you just said, people like to consume in the small bites. So think about, like, my rule of thumb is that for the most of the part, when I'm publishing something in LinkedIn, my post has to be enough long that somebody can read it in just their iPhone or whatever phone you are using, like, just the one screen.
Yeah.
Because people are even that, and this is because, the younger generation learn things differently. They want everything in a very abbreviated forms. That's why TikTok is probably most popular, because, you create it in just a couple of minutes videos, and that's all people want. Unfortunately, people are not going to read as much. So that is another evolution we see in media world. That means people are going to listen more or view more, like video and audio platforms are going to be more popular going forward. In fact, most of the newspapers, or I guess the newspapers or print media, I would go with that, are also coming up with the audio versions. For example, you can go to IBJ, which is my go-to everyday morning, just because I live in Indiana. Every story I can listen also, although it's a newspaper. It's a paper newspaper. But they actually have all the audio files.
Yeah.
Because people have and there's a great study we did, people have become a multitasker. And I know multitasker is not a best thing to say, but we have to understand what our consumers are, what is the consumer behaviors.
Yeah.
And the consumer behavior is that people are multitasker. People want to drive, people want to listen to a podcast, people want to cook with watching a YouTube video. In so many ways, it's changing the industry. So it is going to be that way. So reading is not going to be the favorite part for people. And technology is, so anybody is interested or building innovative products for media, I think this is the time. because there's so many innovative ideas coming up, and it's going to change. So I
Do
don't
you,
know. I have exact like crystal ball I can say that
right.
this is going to be there because innovation is happening every single day.
Yeah.
AI is changing the game altogether.
Yeah. But do you think it's changing it for the better? Do you think we are becoming less connected with even the things that we consume? Are we less connected to each other because where we would prefer text versus a phone call? Is it changing for the better?
I would say depending on whom you ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ask me, yes, I feel that, oh my gosh, I'm still a phone call person,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still like to talk directly than texting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. So if you ask me, that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
However, is the way people interact is becoming new way, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
texting or social media is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a mother of two adult son. So I said, okay, I have to learn to interact with them differently.
Right.
My followers are many,
Mm-hmm.
younger, 20 young professionals. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn it,
Yeah.
that because that's the only way I can reach out to them. And that
Mm.
is how they respond.
Yep. Yep.
So I would say yes, it is a different form, and it just depends. Because probably if I ask my grandma, she would say, "Oh, you guys don't even come home and meet me, and you want to just call people, right?"
Right. Right.
So yeah, I'm talking like a grandma. I'm sorry.
I'm going to be a grandma soon, so I'm here for all of it. I'm not doing any of that. I'm definitely, but I agree. I think that you do have to kind of go the way the world is going. If you want a response, if you want people to engage, you have to meet them where they are. And
Mhm.
that's just where we are. So we're going to change. We're going to transition a little bit to the entrepreneurial side of things.
Mhm.
And you touched on this a little bit, but kind of want to go a little deeper into how business owners can use tech and media to grow their business. Like, what's the appropriate way to do that?
So I will just say one thing that entrepreneurship is one of the hardest thing to begin,
Mm-hmm.
but it can be probably the easiest thing also.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you why. Um, so the fear of starting your own business and giving up your comfort, saying
Mm-hmm.
that, oh, I have a job,
Mm-hmm.
that security that one gets with a job, to give up that is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Getting your first customer is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Raising money is the hardest part. I get all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, it was even much more harder because I was new to this country. I came 30 years back to United States, and I didn't even have any idea as how to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured it out. It's the easiest thing. Like you can go to your state department website, and you can form a business within literally 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the easiest part. Of course, the hardest parts come later, that now you need customers and money and everything. But then what I thought was the hardest turned out to be the easiest part. And that being, some of my mental health.
Hmm.
I do not miss doing my annual performance reviews because I have to hold myself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I can be as critical as I want to be about my performance,
Mm-hmm.
but I also know I'm fair about my
Yeah.
failures.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. So I enjoyed that independence
Hmm.
because I have gone through enough through my corporate world
Mm-hmm.
experiences, which I don't miss anymore. Secondly, I can decide how and when I want to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just decided that this weekend, I'm actually on Sunday, I'm going on a 3-week overseas trip.
Nice.
And I said, yes, I have to go. But then also I had to plan as how I can manage my business. And in tech world, we can work from anywhere.
Anywhere.
So you don't have to be bound by, okay, now my company says it's a 3-day in the office rule.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
But I think having the control over my destiny was the best thing. So if you are a person who is more disciplined about running your own business, it can be very easy. Another thing I would suggest is, learn your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part, but the best thing I did for my own business. So, and I would suggest that to everyone. If you have one of the best ideas, don't let it go away. Because ideas are worth $1 million. But if you have a great idea, find out who can actually, if you are not the best person to say market or sell or do any functions of the business, look for those friends or employees or family person who can help you. Because sometimes people are struggling as how to take it to the next level. So I have a friend who had a brilliant idea to develop a product for one of the car softwares, how to sell the cars. It failed big time because he didn't know how to sell, but he was a great product person. So to be successful in your business, be very honest with yourself and tell yourself that, remember, you are extremely good at this thing, but this is your weakness. And complement your weakness with someone on your team. And that could be a friend, family, contractor, full-time employee. Because running a business, you need everything.
Yeah.
And if you don't have just one ingredient, your cake can be flat.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
So I think that is where I had to come. This is my personal story. I had to learn it very quickly that although I'm an engineer, I'm good as a business operator. But then I had to find somebody who truly enjoys developing products. And it just happened to be my husband.
That's awesome.
So he is like a geeky genius tech person. And then I had to trust him and my other team members also. And I said, you all are going to be responsible for the product development and running the projects. And I have to not interfere in what they are doing. And being an engineer, it was the hardest thing for me.
I bet.
To remove myself from that work.
I bet.
But that is true for a lot of you guys who have progressed in their career from being a coder or a developer to now being a manager. That now you are more of people manager. So it is very similar journey. Yeah. Except now what I was doing it in my job, where I had a team of say 300, 400, 500 people. We are working together on a project, to now make it in a smaller version of 5-people team. But don't think that when you're doing a business, you think you can do it all. Right. And you could be a genius person and can do it. But for the most part, every individual has some strengths and weaknesses. And you have to then identify those strengths and weaknesses. And it could be a contractors, like nowadays, in the time and era we are, there are so many crowdsourced services available. So that means you can have for example, easiest thing people do now is, executive assistants. Like Calendly is the basic, but there's so many other products and services you can hire. That means you don't need a full-time executive assistant. Right. If you're a small company, you can do a lot of people do it as a part-time. Yeah. But don't think that you are a genius innovator. That means you're a great organizer.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, I am so grateful for some of the best years I've ever worked in my life
Mm-hmm.
because they kept us in line.
Mm-hmm.
They kept us organized.
Yes.
So don't underestimate a single person who is working right now. If you're in a corporate world and you see what are the pieces of the puzzle, and now you
Mm-hmm.
have to transform it in your business. So
Absolutely.
they used to keep me in line, remind me about everything I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I am good at dropping the balls.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one example. But then you get they call it fractional CFO, fractional CHRO, fractional marketing CMO.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use the other folks. They provide services in a basically fractional meaning, they might be working on five or six clients or hundreds, who knows it. So I think about where the gaps are, because many businesses fail because they said, oh, I didn't know I failed at it because I couldn't do this. So think about who can do it for you. And nowadays, so many AI has developed so many tools also.
Right.
So you can do it that way also.
I think that is a good point in finding that and surrounding yourself with those who have something you don't. That's not intimidating. That's not, anything like this. Surrounding yourself with people who have what you don't have will help you be a more better rounded one individual and leader, but also make you more productive when you've got folks around you that can pick the ball up and run with it. I'm an idea generator. I just generate ideas all day. I have no intentions of doing any of them. I'm like, take it and run with it. But you need all of those pieces in order to have a cohesive team and a well-run company.
And I think I'll tell you one thing. You just touched upon. I'm sorry, you have a question, but being productive. So another thing is, time is essence. When you're doing your own business, you have only so many hours in a day.
Right.
And you very quickly realize it when you're running your own business that you're still wearing 2 or 3 hats regardless. And when you are having only so many roles that you're playing, what happens is that you need to be very disciplined about your own time also. And when you try to do everything, you won't have time for everything because, life doesn't stop.
Right.
And you don't want to be overwhelmed by just doing the business in a way that when you feel, oh my God, I don't even have time for everything. So I think that is where to be more productive and to focus your energy on the most critical tasks that are on hand, and then use that as your time becomes your currency at that point,
Yeah. So you spoke of currency, and this is my next question, because most entrepreneurs are like, where is my money? How do I make money? So what kind of strategies can you share for those aspiring entrepreneurs who need to raise and secure funding? What kind of things could you help
Yeah, so
there?
I will tell you one thing, that I started my business 23 years back. And that time there was no culture of VC funders or crowdfunding or bank loans and all. It was very unheard of, But nowadays there are many, many such avenues. If you want to start a business and and I don't know exact number, but if your revenue is less than, I think 750K or something like that, so basically look it up, SBA, which is called a Small Business Administration. They give away loans at a very less interest rate.
Nice.
Just in Indiana, I have, but I know in many states also you have. We just actually opened a new bank called Generations Bank. But basically, there are many banks only serve people of minority. So these things are not, and I will text you in a minute. It's an Old National Bank, actually, in Indianapolis. Of course, I know it is through Old National Bank. One of my friend, L. Landon, is the CEO of that bank.
Hmm.
But there's a terminology for those kind of banks.
Mm-hmm.
Then many organizations within Indiana, like in IDC, which is Indiana Economic Development Corporation,
Mm-hmm.
or all the states have them,
Mm-hmm.
and they are called basically, different kinds of grants. In Indiana, it's called we have ready grants and all. So look for those opportunities. And if not, there's so many innovation competitions also running to
Mm-hmm.
raise the fund. So compete, like generator is another one. So there's so many ways you can raise funding for your business. I would say your first source should be your friends and families also.
Right.
Now we are giving them equity. And the
Mm-hmm.
best part about tech is, you can start a business as a moonlighter. That means keep your job,
Mm-hmm.
work. This is not a fun part, but work over the weekends and nights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And wait till the business ramps up.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that comfort and the cushion to feel that, okay, now I can quit the company,
Yeah.
you can do that. I
Yeah.
myself had to do this one a few years back. I started 23 years back. I started the company, but then something didn't work out for
Mm-hmm.
me. And I said, my husband kept the company running, and
Mm-hmm.
I joined some other corporate for some time because I didn't know. And I'll tell you what was my problem. We didn't know how to manage our medical insurance as a
Mm-hmm.
family, which now I can give you the trick. All of the chamber of commerce in every state
Mm-hmm.
you can buy your medical insurance through them, which I
Interesting.
didn't know that time.
Huh.
So medical insurance can be a huge expense,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a critical thing to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my worry. I didn't know. Nobody told me that I
Yeah.
could buy it that way.
Wow.
So, and I've also known many people that they say, okay, one spouse keeps a job with
Mm-hmm.
medical insurance, and the other
Mm-hmm.
person says, okay, let me
Yeah.
dive into my new business, and things get
Mm-hmm.
a little comfortable. Then both can join or not join. That's a different conversation. But, there are ways to do it also.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say look for your chamber of commerce because they have many avenues, and all of the state also have an office of entrepreneurs nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
and there they give you free guidance on it on how to start a business. They have and small and always SBA. SBA is a federal agency.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Small Business Administration,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have consultants who give you free guidance. So based on every state and county, you may have different funding also available. Lately, there are so many co-working spaces. Like I had started with a place where I'm actually now still a member. I
Mm-hmm.
pay only $100 a month, but then
Hmm.
now I have a Starbucks was supposed to be a free co-working space for many business owners I know. Because
Mm-hmm.
all you just need your laptop and you can sit and start a business with
Yeah.
tech, which is the
Yeah.
best part of tech businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's so many co-working spaces also.
Mm-hmm.
They have a free space for even small businesses. So
Nice.
I think there are resources available all over the place.
Awesome. I know we only have about 10 minutes left. I want to say if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and put those in the chat and we can just keep going as Devin is monitoring the chat. As the CEO of your own company, I'm sure you faced some failures along the way. You talked about one or two of them just a second ago. How did you turn fear into confidence?
So I will tell you, I've my own talk of serial failure
Hmm.
to serial entrepreneur.
Hmm.
I like to talk about my failures more than my successes because often people want to just talk about their
Mm-hmm.
success
Mm-hmm.
and make it very glorified career. Portray the picture, which is
Mm-hmm.
not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Failures come every single day, but for all of us on this call, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you how. We all are tech leaders. That means we write code,
Mm-hmm.
and every code we write goes through at least 4 or 5 iterations
Mm-hmm.
until we have a successful code, right? A
Mm-hmm.
program runs successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, And as a consultant, I keep on trying for different contracts. I have to write my RFPs, respond to RFPs. But then I also know going in fact, we very clearly talk about that what is our win rate.
Mm-hmm.
And often our win rate is 33%.
Mm-hmm.
That means we know that 1 out of 3 contracts only I may get.
Mm-hmm.
And that means I know 2 I'm not going to get. So failure is just a part of the journey. But then you have to, do an aggregate. And you have to think about it that, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not going to get every business I'm trying for or every contract I'm trying for.
Mm-hmm.
And that means I need to be prepared for that much effort that will go waste. But that is just a part of a business. So think about that as a journey that happens. Again, I always compare my business with anybody who's doing a job because most of you are an entrepreneur, but you are solopreneurs because you are running a business and you are the product. Look at that way. You are constantly innovating in your workplace. You're constantly thinking, how am I selling myself to my boss that I need a promotion or I need this new position? I want this new transfer because you are studying a new division and I want to be part of that. So if you replicate that behaviors in the business, then you know that every time you are not successful in the thing that you're trying to achieve. But that should not be the reason of disappointment. But think about that as an opportunity to do things differently. My definition of fail is, first attempt in learning. Michael Jordan says the only shot I did not make is the one that I did not take.
Yep.
So, and in fact, Michael Jordan says that he has probably missed 9,000 shots in his career, and he's still one of the best basketball player in the universe. So failure should not intimidate you or scare you. You need to muster some courage when you're doing a business. As I told you, the only way I turn those failures into successes, every time when I don't win a contract, I sit down with my clients and we do win-loss analysis with them. And I go with a very big heart and big spirit. Sometimes it's hard, but I said, please be critical about what I did do right. Ask them. And some people will tell you very candidly that, guys, do you know you were competing against ABC company and their write-up was very good, or the team that they presented was very good, or your solution was weaker in these areas. So that is an opportunity for me to improve next time. So I think having that mindset has helped me. Then rather than, sitting in one corner and sulking and saying that, I knew I was better than that person and I still got it, which sometimes happens. Trust me. It also happens. But then taking that feedback, whichever is a good, bad, ugly, and again, getting up next time and doing it. I was recently part of the Olympic swim tryouts in Indianapolis last year. I was in the committee there. And I met and I was actually interviewing one of the swimmers, Olympic swimmers. And she gave me one analogy, by the way, learning, I believe in reverse mentoring also. That means learning from the younger people whom you think you're mentoring, but actually you walk away learning from them. And she told me one thing which was most impactful in my personal journey also, and it will stay with me forever. She told me that, and we talked about a failure because I love to talk about failures, And she said, as an Olympic swimmer, we all know our ranking. She knew her ranking, which was in 50s. Okay. But she still came for tryouts. She said, my goal at this point is to get selected and go for Olympics. Because if you look at it, you have to think about climbing one step at a time.
Yeah.
So she said, hey, my first goal was to basically win through my whatever was the local chapter or thing was there, then to get to the swim tryouts, then go to Paris. But she said, ultimately, I know that I'm not going to win gold or any kind of a medal in Paris. I know that. But if everybody in this natatorium thinks that they don't have a chance, there's no competition. So she said, I'm coming in knowing that I'm going to.
Right.
So building that resilience in yourself is very important. But then learning something from there that you can apply somewhere else. But she said, yeah, but I have a chance to go to Commonwealth Games because now I learned how to compete in this kind of a environment.
Right.
So I think for me, it has become like this, that, okay, not everything has been great. I have applied for some work and some product development and all, and it has failed. But I said, no, but actually, this could be applied somewhere else. And I think it's just a learning. I'm always learning. Learning is a part of the journey.
Yeah, I was thinking as you were talking, is a lot goes into your personal brand, right? Being able to brand yourself and sell yourself, because sometimes you're just selling yourself. My husband sells cars for Lincoln, and he told me, he says, I'm not really worried about selling them this car. I'm selling them on me. I don't care about the car. I just need you to come back to me. So that has helped me a lot along the way, understanding what you want your personal brand to be. When people interact with you, what do you want them to think, feel? I want people to remember that they interacted with me. That was something I did early on in my career. I made myself the resource of all resources. You were going to be better.
I can vouch on that.
You're going to be better because you met me. And I think, I've applied for jobs that I knew I wasn't going to get, just so I had the experience of interviewing at a certain level. Because, you never know until you do it. And so I think that's really important, and being able to take feedback as a gift. I've always felt like it's a gift. People don't have to tell you anything. But when they do share with you some of the hard things, don't look at that as a place to be forever, but look at it as a stepping stone. Like, I'm glad you told me that, because I wouldn't have known that had I not had that experience. So I believe feedback is a gift, good, bad, or indifferent. I take it as a gift. And I've learned to grow from it and understand that it is meant to help you grow, and not meant to destroy your confidence or anything like that. But you have blinders on. Sometimes you just don't know. And it's important to have people around you that, one, will tell you the truth. I always look at it as, you've got to have some truth tellers in your circle. Who's going to tell you the truth? Who's going to tell you the hard truths about you, about, your ideas? Who's going to help you along the way? So I think that's super important to be able to do that. So thank you for that. We're about to close, and I can't believe it's been an hour already. That's just wild. I could talk to you for hours. I'm so excited to be catching back up with you. But you have mentioned some resources for growing entrepreneurs, and ways for them to help better leverage tech and media as they go in their journey. What are some of the things that, I think we got a question. So I want to go to that. I am sharing in this meeting her CCNA class, just talking about, I'm sharing this meeting with our CCNA class. They were just talking about how to receive feedback. So that's excellent. Good job, John. I'm excited that they'll be able to experience this. Because again, I think feedback, corporate America will teach you a whole lot. Those performance evaluations you talked about will teach you a whole lot about receiving feedback, and how do you adequately receive feedback and then grow from it. The feedback that I've gotten over the years has helped me grow tremendously. I'm grateful for it. But back to my question, some of the resources you mentioned, the Small Business Administration, you mentioned the Indiana Business Journal. What other resources would you have available, or what are some of your favorite go-tos for growing entrepreneurs for tech and media?
So I think one more I talked about is Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce, yep.
I am very much involved with Chamber of Commerce because when I say about growing the business, I guess another thing you have to think about is where you go and meet your customers. So I would say, you know, for my business, I go to ASUG, which is America's SAP User Group. And think about volunteering in those kind of organizations. As I just mentioned to you, I keep my swim lanes separate. So I'm also one of the office bearers of ASUG. You know, I used to be, sorry. I now just attend, but you know, ASUG is, but somebody from my company is now on a Indiana chapter board. So think about those kind of places also, because there you meet your peers, something like BDPA, which is a great resource. So going to those type of places is very important. And whatever is your I would say industry. So for another organization I'm part of is, you know, Indiana Black Journalist Association. So go where you meet your peers and your prospects.
That's good.
Because when you are starting a small business, you want both peers and prospects.
Nice.
And then that is how you can grow. So I would just say in closing that, you know, don't overlook any of the opportunities and resources may come on your way. By the way, I have to do my commercial.
Yes.
National BDPA 2026 to Indianapolis. We just, by the way, you're the first one to hear from me.
Yes.
It's not yet published, but July 15th to 19th, we will be in Hyatt Regency in downtown Indianapolis. And if I don't make that event fun for you guys, call me up. It's on me. But we are there to just make a lot of fun. And we are going to be very much focused on bringing resources for entrepreneurs.
Awesome.
We will be having a separate resource center for entrepreneurs only.
Nice.
And by the way, media will be all over the place.
I love it.
So yes, so we'll walk the walk and talk the talk next year.
That's right. That's awesome. Well, I thank you so much. And this has been a great conversation. How can people connect with you after this?
So please connect me on LinkedIn. I never say no to people, but just put a small note that, hey, you're a BDPA friend, because otherwise I get too many invites. So I think that's another thing I would say. When you send people invite on LinkedIn, just send 2 sentences with that. Don't just shoot people with a connect button.
Right.
But yes, I'm always available. And again, my offer is open to all of you. If you have any great topics you want to contribute to Indianapolis Recorder, I will read it and I will provide you feedback if you need it. And if it's the right article, I will publish it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Rupal. I appreciate you so much. Enjoy your 3-week trip. I hope it's somewhere exciting. Thank you all for joining us today. Again, if you have any questions, you can absolutely post them in the chat and we can connect with you later, but definitely reach out to Rupal on LinkedIn. She's an amazing resource. I'm so excited to have reconnected with you after all of these years. I will be at BDPA in July. Super excited about that. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining. Take care.
Thank you very much all. Take care. Bye-bye.